Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today we are going to be doing another best of 5, and this time you're going to be playing against Hunstman 0. So for the first match, we're going to bring the one and only, we're going to bring the World Domination team. And my opponent is playing a Leper Halo comp, it seems. And there's going to be a purge, please don't knock me to the back. Wishful thinking, Shepherd Doggy. Wishful thinking. Well, I'm not overly concerned about this situation. One thing I'm concerned about though is if we miss this stun, but we don't, thankfully. So we are able to stun that Arbos and put her in a place where she doesn't want to be. And of course she could normally flare the mark and flare the stun, but you know, she's the one getting stunned. So we don't really mind. Hopefully that fails. It would be nice if that failed, but oh well, wishful thinking once again, Shepherd Doggy. And now, I think my play is actually going to be to move back here, because it's not going to do too much of a difference. This come hither is essentially not going to do anything against us, and now there's going to be a battle belt. I think that's a worthless move. There wasn't anything else he could do, like Dirk's House just put the VH in a worse spot, but then again, I don't have any dodge. My round counter is like 10 dodge. I mean, I guess it is helpful for the Leper, but even then, I don't think it's that good at all. We're just gonna transform here, go to position 2, and just take it from there. I'm thinking of going for another stun, but I'm also thinking of starting off with a sniper shot. I think sniper shot's better, because if I go for a stun, she could just click, and then I no longer have the mark. But if I do this, now you're in a really rough spot. And this is just what happens, not only when you play against WD, but when you play against WD and you go second, and you don't even have dodge, you don't have regen, you don't have a lot of defense to talk about. Like, having a Leper here has the advantage of, you know, it's a Leper, big damage hits, he's very tanky with the Solemnity, but you don't have Rally to the Flame, so you only have one dedicated healer, which is the Arbalest, and, you know, if the Arbalest is the one getting focused down, I don't really think she's gonna have a good time. So she's gonna move back to position 4, we don't really mind, we're gonna go for a come hitter, 50-50, we don't get the death blow, do we get the pull? Okay, we do get the pull, so it's not the underrolled. 50-50, it's a 50-50 of getting a death blow, works half of the time, 100% of the time. If anyone gets that reference, congrats to you. But I do think it's 60% of the time, 100% of the time, that one. So they do get the pull as well, which means, once again, my Abomination's not enjoying himself. But now we're gonna go for a death blow and the stun here. We don't get the death blow again, 40% this time. Yeah, that move back with the Arbals was definitely the correct play, because it just opened up a window for Huntsman to actually have a chance here, because my characters would now have to deal with, like, chancy deathblow chances, and if you have to deal with chancy deathblow chances, it gives you a chance of winning. So there's actually going to be a revenge right now. This Sniper is giving himself a lot of value as a character. He's never going to miss, he's going to do a lot of damage, and he's very difficult to stun too, so it's going to be rough to deal with him. I'm just going to move back. I mean, I'm just going to heal myself here. I'm going to keep the Abomination alive. I'm going to keep him healthy. I'm going to keep him in a place where he wants to be. And by the start of next round, there's going to be a move forward too here, but I don't care. There's going to be a move forward, and now I just go for a finish him, and the Arbals is finally gone. I could have gone Caltroops, but keep in mind that Caltroops can do 0 damage to an Arbalist because of that faithful 5% protection, so I do not want to take my chances with that. Please don't crit. Okay, wow, crit unnecessary. I think that rolls for... yeah, it rolls for a lot of damage. I mean, there's Revenge, there's Purge, I mean, there's Revenge, there's Chop, big damage, there's Eagle Eye Talisman, snuff damage, you know, it's just brutal. And how do I want to answer to that? Well, there's a couple ways I can answer to it. I could heal right now. I think healing is actually going to be the play here. I could also go for a stun, but that's super chancy. If I heal and there's a finale, I still think I'm winning, because the Arbalest isn't the only damage-dealing character on my side of the team, and also not the only healer, and I still have my finisher character, so I think if a finale happens right now, I am comfortable. So instead of that, there's probably going to be a Dirk Stab for some extra damage. Or even a Harvest. It cannot do enough, and it cannot get the bleed, but it does get the bleed, very, very sadly for your faithful Shepherd Doggy. So I could move back to positions here, but that's just gonna mean come hither for sure. What do I want to do? What do I want to do is the question. I could flare. That doesn't do anything. I think this is still the play. We're just gonna do some damage to these characters. Hopefully get some tempo out of it. And hopefully resist the move and resist the death blow. If you resist the death blow right now, we don't win because he gets to go first next round anyway. But we have a bigger chance of winning because that's my Arbal is still alive and still not comfortable, but, you know, alive. Out of, not even out of the store, but out of the death blow itself. At least she's not like the enemy Arbalist, for now. Let's see, do you want to go come hitter or do you want to go Caltrops? Keep in mind, Caltrops could do 0 damage. Let's see, he wants to go come hitter, gets the 50-50 death blow. Which is very annoying, because of a couple reasons, because now she's in position 1 too, so yeah, that's very annoying, but we're just gonna move forward here and see how we go. There is one upside to this, that Leopard can now only focus my Crusader, but the Leopard can focus my Crusader isn't really that good of a thing either, because this Leopard deals a lot of damage to my Crusader. If you get a crit with this chop, I don't think you get an immediate 45 damage, but you definitely get a lot, but thankfully it's not that much. Not that much, I say, as my HP gets essentially halved. I'm gonna go for a stun here. It's a 60% chance of working. Let's see, do we get it? We do get it. That is very meaningful. That is really, really meaningful and a big help right now. There's actually a play in me moving backwards with this abomination, believe it or not. It's actually playing me moving back, but with the Jester in position 2 and with 3 buffs of Finale, yeah, it's rough. It is rough indeed. What do I want to do? I'm thinking of moving back and finish him, you know? That's what I'm thinking of. That's really what I'm thinking of. But I'm also thinking Caltrops and just take it from there is also a good play. Caltrops, stun the Jester. Yeah, you know what? I have to go for that. I can't let this Jester get a finale on anyone, so I'm just gonna go Caltrops, start dealing damage to everyone, which is a great move. And then just de-transform, go for a stun, and hopefully deal some damage, and hopefully hit the stun too. It's going to be a very decent hit chance. We have 110 base accuracy with the manacles and +6 from the net. So our chances of actually hitting that Jester is a 76, I believe. It's going to be Caltrops. Please don't bleed my Crusader. Nice, I called it. Did not bleed my Crusader. I could also go for a Slam here, but the hit chance is worse. It would do more damage. But no, I'm going to de-transform, I'm going to go for a stun, means he just doesn't have an action, and my hit chance is a lot better. It's 10 higher. And we do hit it. We get a min roll, but we do get the hit, which is, you know, I'm definitely not going to complain about getting a hit on the Jester, even if it is a min roll. So 2 stun characters, great situation for me. This is just WD gameplay in a nutshell. She died round 3, I believe, so we're gonna keep that in mind. You actually want to put... Oh, you madman. You want to put my Bounty Hunter in position 2, or I can go finish him. Who goes first next round? I do not. I do not, actually. If I go Holy Lance right now, I might have enough. I need a crit, though. I do need a crit. I could move back, but there's no way I move back here. I'm gonna go for it. 13 to 20. And 50-50 hit chance, of course. We do not get it. Which is sad. It's definitely saddening, but oh well, what can you do, right? What can you do? You just have to suck it up with this Crusader. I could have done something else. I could have just gone for a heal and then kind of just let my Abomination go to position 3 or something. But I'm okay with this situation as of right now. Do they want to finale my Bounty Hunter? Maybe they do. 13 to 24, we roll a 21 on that, so not a bad roll, and he's taking a little extra from the Caltrops too, so... Leopard is not in great shape, but he's not quite in terrible shape either, so I'm just gonna move forward here, or maybe do I pass? That corpse is so annoying. It's gonna be gone by round 8, but it's still a long way away from round 8, not gonna lie. I'm gonna move forward just so I can get a stun through. I mean, at least he can still do come hitter if it comes to that. I'm just gonna wait for the Bounty Hunter to get out of that position that he is in right now. But killing this Jester is going to be rough. If you go for a chop right now, I will go for a stun on the Jester 100% of the time. That is what I'm going to do, because even if you go for a chop and get me to death's door, if I stun the Jester, you won't be able to get a death blow. And after that, I can go for a smite or a stunning blow, and then really, they want to do it again. That is so weird. That is really weird. Yeah. That is a really weird play. Okay, let's think this through. Like, let's really think this through, because this is important. This is really important. Maybe a pull with the come hither? I don't know. Oh, this is rough. Yeah, this is some rough stuff. I might be thinking of a rally to the flame. You know what? I'm gonna go for a pull with the come hither on the enemy Bounty Hunter, because the Arbalest Corpse is gonna go ASIN. Of course. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I failed the 90% move chance. I failed the pull on the Bounty Hunter. You know, it's not the first time that's happened to me this last week. And it's not the first time I'm gonna complain about it. Like, come on, seriously. 90%. 90%. Huntsman says, I wish you got that pull. I'm not too sure. You want to get Finale off, right? Like, you just Finale the Bounty Hunter now and I lose, I believe. Yeah, you just Finale the Bounty Hunter and I'm dead. Because then I won't have a... Really? Okay, it doesn't fail. It does not fail, which is pretty sad for me, but yeah, we're in a really rough spot right now. How did we get to this rough spot? Just the Arbalest dying in position 1. Just let this match like go wild. I don't know. I really don't know what happened here. Yeah, this is just really saddening to see, I'm gonna have to say, because I thought WD had this one in the bag, but it just didn't. It's gonna be a Solemnity heal right now for 44, and yeah, this one is just done. I don't think we have much of a chance anymore. I'm still gonna play it out. I'm gonna go for a stun on that BH, but yeah, we are down a lot of HP, we are down a character, and there's still 2 finishers on the enemy side. And this is rough, this is really rough. That Jester, I mean, that Leopard didn't give him any advantages at the start, but after that we were just focused down with this Arbalest, and with her in position 1 we just started losing. Actually a little bit surprised that you let me get this finish him off, but we didn't even do enough damage, so yeah, we won't be able to clutch this one out, I don't believe. If there's a death blow right now, we'll just surrender, because obviously I can't win a 1v1 against the Leopard while they have Solemnity and all this stun resistance. So there's going to be a Dirk Stab, and that's going to be a GG. It's going to be a round 1 for Huntsman. And let's clean the slate. Wait, what do you say? Wipe the slate clean and move on to match number 2. Alright, and here we go. On to a match number 2. And looks like Huntsman's playing the exact same Leopard team. And we are doing something a little different, which I think is going to have a really good time against what my opponent is playing here. So we are playing the Zetas Stress comp. I haven't played this one in a while, but it's a team built around stress and built around a lot of protection that can do a lot of nasty things against teams, especially with Leopards, because we can hopefully use Alberg of Light. Actually, I might not be able to use it, because there's probably going to be a Purge. Yes, there's the Purge, okay. Maybe he doesn't get to push. Oh, that's so good. That is so unbelievably good. You know, the thing is, even with the Bork of Light being that strong, I had to transform and go Slam, because not only would it potentially push the Leopard out of position, which was a 30, I mean 50 if I got a crit, it would have also made it so pulling my doggy wouldn't come with double value. Value of disrupting my abomination and value of, you know, pulling the doggy. There's actually there's going to be a Mark for Death on the Man-at-Arms of all characters. Doesn't get the debuff, which I'm happy about. And in response to that, I could go Retribution, but I'm just going to go Bellow here to start reducing their damage. And this Leper is going to feel really sad today, because he's going to have to deal with protection, and he's going to have to deal with damage debuffs. And let me tell you, he doesn't like either. So we are enjoying ourselves here. We also have to deal with some relative amount of dodge on my opponent's side right now. So the Hound's Airy probably isn't going to be that good, but oh well, we just have to suck it up. Is there going to be a Harvest round 1? It could miss, you know, it could definitely whiff these characters. The chances are low, but, you know, they do exist, but no, there's no whiffs. There is a bleed fail though, but yeah, we're going to go Hunstman. We surprisingly get a hit on everyone and get to bleed on everyone too, which I believe was confirmed. Apart from the Arbalest, you know, very good chance of getting the bleeds with the Crimson Hook and 110% base bleed chance on the Harry. But oh well, this should do enough damage if it's a crit, but thankfully no crit, which means I can keep enjoying myself. But do I want to go for a Bellow first, or do I want to go for a Tree Transform Beast Spile first, or do I even want to go for Zealous first? No, I think I want to keep my Crusader action here. I'm just going to drop a Bellow, because Bellows are fun, and right now if you go first and you don't get a crit, I don't think you actually do enough damage with the Arbalest, unless you get a, like, medium to high roll, because this Man-at-Arms being alive is definitely rough for you right now, definitely rough. There's going to be a Purge, my Crusader is going to go and take 5 damage and go to the backline this time, which means no Beast Smile, but we will instead get maybe another Slam, you know, the possibilities are endless. I'm going to go for a Hound's Airy right now, we get a crit out of it, oh that's just lovely, that is absolutely lovely. My opponent's team is just faltering, and my team is feeling not just fine, but it's definitely feeling alive compared to what my opponent is. He's about to get Afflictions, and unlike the Crusader, you do not have a Sacred Blade on this team, so you do not have a Virtue chance, and I'm very, very pleased about that. I'm actually thinking about what I should do with this Abomination. Maybe moving back, like just de-transforming moving back would have been the play. But I don't know, I'm not too sure. It's gonna be a sniper shot now, probably does enough damage. Let's see, yeah, it gets a crit for 28. So it could have not rolled for 20. That was a possibility. Not rolling for 20 was indeed a possibility. I'm gonna go for a heal right now. We get 6, which means that we might actually not take enough damage from the next ability, which is great. I'm pretty sure Dark Stab doesn't do enough. Harvest definitely doesn't do enough because we have 30 prot and 6 HP. And Bounty Hunter might not do enough even with the finish him, because he does 7 to 14 base, you have minus 40% damage, so that's getting gutted. Then I have 30 prot, so it's the damage is getting gutted. You have a decent chance of actually not doing enough to the mana arms, drop him down to 0. And if you don't do enough, drop him down to 0, I can go for another heal next round. Not only that, but I can also go for another bell next round, which is great. And yeah, you only do 4, which, again, wonderful. Right now I'm gonna go for a play that you usually shouldn't do, which is a stun against an Arbalest that's already being bellow debuffed. I'm gonna go for it because the Jester has to act right now, so there isn't a value of both clearing the stun and clearing the debuffs. So I can just do that very, very comfortably, and the Jester is just going to pass its action. My Abomination is going to stay comfortably in position 1, ready to drop another transformation soon. Now, my Man-at-Arms is going to make use of his Bellows, drop a third one. The Jester finally dodges something with his Monkey Paw, but that's 3 debuffs on the enemy team. The Sniper is doing trash amounts of damage. He doesn't even have Revenge right now, and he's getting Afflicted Paranoid. We get Selfish, which is almost as good. That's minus 10% damage, and Selfish has a 10% chance of just moving back or forward, but since he's in position 1, it can only move him back. So you see, Purge is doing 3 damage, doesn't even push me back because I have 65 move res, and this is just a matchup differential, you know, like, this is rough. This team that my opponent has here does not have a good time against what I'm playing, and I think that's pretty evident right now. I'm gonna drop another Hunstman. We're gonna get another Affliction out of it, almost 2, but only 1 sadly, and we get Hopeless. Hopeless is definitely not a bad one for my opponent to get here. I mean, there's worse than Hopeless. I think a Paranoid would have been better for me, because Paranoid could do a lot of nasty things, but again, Hopeless is still just bad. It's minus 5 dodge, and can do passes, can hit himself, can do some very nasty things. Can also mark yourself with Hopeless, so yeah. I'm not too sure. There's worse for sure. It's gonna go Dirk Stab, does enough damage, reasonably comfortably enough damage, and now that there's afflictions, heals become even more valuable because I can heal, and not only do I get, you know, essentially an action right there, I also heal myself with Crusader, which is double value, and now the opponents can start passing, doing dumb stuff, and my characters just stay alive. Like, I have 4 afflictions, well, not 4 afflictions, but essentially 4 afflictions, and you don't have a single death blow. That's messed up. That's really messed up. And you know what I could do if I was feeling really mean right now? Is I could go for Manacles and get a 65% stun. And we do get it, which is so mean. It is so mean. We stun that Bounty Hunter. Yeah, now I'm gonna go for another heal, as you do. Paranoid has a chance of doing some very silly act outs. I'm gonna keep healing myself with the Crusader, so the damage you did from your Purge is, you know, non-existent. And you know what? I'm gonna get another bell off, unless you drop a finale right now and lose the match. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about this this situation as of right now. Paranoid not having any act outs, even with minus 25% damage and minus 40% damage, you still do, like, you know, more than half my HP with that, but oh well, now I'm gonna click, I'm just gonna drop this fellow and get more stress through, and probably die with our Man-at-Arms now, but he has gone for quite the run in this match, so I think his worth has been pulled off. I'm not overly concerned about him dying right now. I'm gonna have to say, you do still have a finale with this Jester, but you still have 1 bell debuff, and you have Fearful, which is permanent minus 25% damage. You only have 2 finale buffs, actually, and there's going to be a move forward here, which means that you won't be able to get that that finale off immediately, but that's not the end of the world for my opponent. He still doesn't have quite enough damage to get it off. Now, one thing about afflictions is that they reduce your resistances by 15%, which makes this possible. It means that now my slam is a 45% chance of getting the push every single time, and this sniper is in position 3, with Bellow debuffs for minus 80% damage, with no revenge buff, taking a lot of Horde, taking a lot of bleed, almost at death's door, and goes revenge with the act out. Which means you're just gonna take more damage now from all my abilities. I'm gonna go for a Hunstman. I'm just shredding this team apart. The Jester is starting to get some very serious dodges now, but again, I think enough damage has been put on him that it's not really gonna matter. He moves back actually with the act out, but you can't really move forward here because then you put the leper out of position again. And do you really want to do that? Yeah, probably not. Probably not, I'm gonna have to say. I could go for just an immediate Hound's area or something. The problem is that my Crusader is in the back, right? So he's not quite as useful as I want him to be. I'm gonna do another slam here. It's gonna drop the Leopard to 0, but this time I don't get the push. That's really sad. I would have loved to see a Leopard in position 4, but, you know, sadly that's not what's gonna happen right now. But then again, he's essentially dead. He's taking 8 horror for 3 rounds. He's at death's door. He might go Solemnity, but after that there's Harry, there's Holy Lance, and you're dead anyway. So I'm not too concerned about that. You're not even gonna go for a heal, are you? You're just gonna go Battlefield Bandage, Act Out Heal on the Bounty Hunter, which doesn't refuse it despite being hopeless. And now I can drop nasty Hunstman. Come on, give me some damages. Yeah, that's damages, alright. That's 2 crits on the front line, by the way, because the Leopard corpse is gone. That's actually a bad thing, because the Jester can now do as he wishes, but that Bounty Hunter is essentially dead. Yeah, essentially dead. One more Hunstman and he's gonna be gone. This Jester doesn't really have enough damage to finale anyone. I mean, honestly, my Crusader right now could 1v3 this match, because you can't really damage him, you can't do anything to his 42 HP, and Zealous is just gonna kill you in like 2 actions. So if he was in position 1, I think this would be already over, but since he's not in position 1, we're gonna have to play this out for a little longer. I'm gonna go Holy Lance on the Arballs, just do some damage, get some stress out of it, make sure she's at death's door for the next Harry. And because, you know, going for the 50-50 on the Jester right now is very unnecessary, just let him reduce his own dodge by going Finale on someone he wants. So with only 3 buffs you do 14 to 25 damage, but with Fearful that's way less, and with Prot literally on everyone that's even lesser. Actually gets a bleed on my Crusader, kind of a Hail Mary play right there to go for a bleed on the Crusader, but definitely the play to go for. But is it going to be enough to save you? Nah, not even close, baby. This Bounty Hunter is dead to horror, and this Jester is just going to be put in a spot where it's just going to be detransformed stun, and eventually I will hit him, and eventually he is gonna die. So yeah, he goes for an act out, causes extra stress on himself from that, so good job, Jester. And now after the detransform manacles, I don't think I even need a crit to do enough stress. It should be enough. He goes for it, doesn't do quite enough, and goes for the surrender. So that's going to be 1-1, and let's move on to match number 3. Alright, and here we go, on to a match number 3, and it looks like this time we're playing against the Halo comp. And we are playing the Goliath comp with the Leper. So Hunstman, after playing Leper twice, I just decided, you know what, let me show you how to play a proper Leper, and I have my own Leper now, so hopefully that's gonna work out well for us. Let's see, what do you want to go for? Do you want to go for come hitter there? Miss. Doesn't miss, actually. It could miss, it's not likely to miss, but he went for like a 70 with that come hitter. Would have loved to see it miss, but oh well, what can you do? That means we're not gonna get a battle ballad off for a little bit, but not the end of the world. I am, however, gonna go for a revenge first, right? My hit chances are laughable, I have 86 accuracy. Yeah, I'll just drop a revenge first and call it a day right now. You've already used your mark, so I'm not overly concerned about what happens right now. My Crusader is gonna be put to healing duty. I'm not gonna go Holy Lance, I don't think that would be a good idea, so I'm just gonna react with the Crusader and just heal whoever's in danger. And that's a weird play. Oh, he actually goes Bulwark. Okay, that's gonna mitigate the amount of damage that I actually do with my Leper. It's gonna mitigate it very nicely, but is it gonna be enough to save you? Probably not. I'm gonna do a sniper shot here for 11 HP, so wonderful damage roll right there. What can you do, right? You can crit for 26 or you can hit for 11. Or you can miss too, but you know, there wasn't a miss chance right there. But yeah, what can I do, right? Can't really do too much about it. You know what the worst play right now would be? Moving back with the Jester. Like, that would be so terrible, because I'd put myself into a sniper shot with plus 15 damage and 12 accuracy, plus 20 accuracy. Like, I just get one shot. That would be such a horrible play. Do not go for it, Shep. And yes, I won't go for it, because it would be terrible. It is unbelievable how terrible that would be of a play. Like, no, I have to move back, just so my Leper can do his thingies, right? No, do not move back there. So I'm gonna go for heal on the Leper. He's the character that's getting focused down by that Arbalist. Did a decent amount of damage. But then again, I have no prot against the Piercing Quarter when I have plus 50% damage taken, so, you know. Is there going to be a pull on my Crusader? I think there is. If there's a pull on my Crusader, I'm going to go for a nuke. I'm going to go Sniper Shot and I'm going to go Finale here. Like, no doubt in my mind. Or also, I could even go Smite. Actually, I don't have Smite on this Steam Whips. It's actually going to be a pull on the Arbalist. I think in that case, I might just either Flare or move back. But I think I could move back once with Bull, or I could move back twice. Move back once with Bull, or move back twice. Move back once with Bola, or move back twice. I'm gonna move back once with Bola, just because I get to do damage with it, and now my Crusader can actually go Holy Lance if he wants. Of course, if my Arbalist is now in the worst spot, because I can get hit by Dirkstab, I can get hit by Finish Hims, but I'm not overly concerned. That has a chance of missing. I knew he was gonna go for it, but has a chance of missing. Doesn't. Which is pretty darn annoying, but oh well, you have to deal with it, right? I cannot clear stuns with my Crusader, which is very annoying, to say the least. But I can go for some counterplay. I can go for a heal right now. We definitely do enough. And we get a crit on the Crusader too, which is always great and always welcome. We get the crit against their crit. We would have dealt 32 damage right there if there wasn't any protection. With a heal. That's an ability that hits 2 characters. Yeah, I know, right? It's only going to be 21 damage on my Arbalist. That's really good for us, because that means she's not at this store just yet, so... Oh, that hurts. Oh, that really hurts to see. So a downside of the Goliath comp is that you don't have any actual finisher characters. I mean, no, you do. You do have finisher characters, but you, like, all your finisher characters are kind of like support finishers. None of them are Bounty Hunter with Finish Him and Finisher. You have a Jester with Dirkstab Finisher, which is very reliable, and then you have an Arbalist as a support finisher, but you never get like that sick 100% death blow chance, other than the Finale. So just getting a death blow there with the Crusader is so impactful, like so freaking impactful. It's wonderful, it really is wonderful. Now Huntsman is considering whether he should go Finale on the Jester. Honestly, I think this match is lost for you right now, because after that there's just going to be chop on the Crusader, he's down to 0, and there's a pass, of all things, but you know what they say, after a pass you must pass too, because that's just how the Butcher Circus works. That's still an up as an action for me, because I have 4 and you only have 3, so I don't really mind it all that much. There's going to be a stunning blow on the leper, very chancy, could fail, does not. But I'm just going to clear that stun because that's 1 action for me, but that's like 1.3 actions for you, because once again I have more actions than you do. So what would he go for if he wasn't going to pass? Well, he was considering whether he should Finale or he should Dirkstab, you know, what he should actually do, but, you know, he just thought about it too much, and that doesn't go too well when you think about things this clear for too long. I mean, he could have just... I think he's trying to nuke me right now and then drop a Finale. Just definitely a good play here, because the leper is a character that you have to take out, because he can just reduce health bars to 0, and you do not want your health bars being reduced to 0, obviously. So what is this Jester gonna do? Of course, if I didn't pass, I would have won this match already, because, you know, just that chop and now Finale, like round 3 and the Crusader dead and GG. But oh well, there's gonna be a stunning blow, doesn't do enough damage. Oh, doesn't even get the hit. Well, that's just rough, buddy, isn't it? I'm gonna go for a heal right now. You get a crit on it for 24. The Crusader's at this store. Jester's getting closer to that store, and we can Finale whoever we want. Also, I didn't go for the immediate Finale because I only have 1 damage buff and there's 35 prot, so I could have done enough damage. I have 9 to 16 with 1 damage buff, but against 35 prot and 9 HP, it definitely could have failed. So it's gonna be a Finale. That does enough for sure, but is it gonna be enough to save you? Is the question. That is the ultimate question. It's a 3v3 right now, but your Crusader's at this store and mine isn't. Mine is stunning your Crusader. So my Crusader finally gets to go aggressive by round 4, and we are in a decent position right now. There's going to be a Battlefield Bandage, to which I'm going to reply with a Sniper Shot on the Jester, so I can start getting some potential death kills on him. If you want to heal the Jester, that's just our Arbalist trading turns, which I'm okay with, because your Crusader is getting dominated, my Crusader is dominating yours, and my Leper is just killing everything in sight. So I'm okay with our Arbalist trading turns right now. Totally okay with that. Let's see, what does Huntsman want to do? Of course the Jester is dazed, so I always have that advantage on my side. That's definitely an advantage, I'm gonna have to say. If characters are dazed, you can go for some very funny plays because they're dazed. It's great. There's gonna be a flare right now, which is gonna clear the daze and the stun, but it's just gonna mean that you get stunned again. I don't do enough damage because the block of light, but that's still a stun, so I'm not really going to complain about it. And the Jester's at Death's Door, so we're going to have a 50-50 of getting Death Blow. You also shouldn't do too much damage, because, once again, Death's Door. But crit 11, you know, just revenge things, I suppose. And right now, I'm actually just going to go for a Hue here, because I could maybe get the crit for enough damage, but that's not quite enough. It's not quite enough, which is sad. But yeah, it isn't quite enough damage on that corpse to just get it out and potentially get a double death blow. But I'm definitely going to go for a ball right now. You get a death blow, you get a crit. Both your characters are in positions 1 and 2. I have a leper ready with Hugh. I have 2 healers for him, and you can't win this match anymore. So I'm gonna say GG to Hunstman for this match number 3, and it's probably gonna be match point for Shepherd Doggy. I might be jinxing it, but I really don't think I'm jinxing it. I don't think you have a chance here at all. Once again, 2 healers. They're both really good healers, especially this Crusader with the Glorious Standard, I should mention, because even with the Crusader being a dedicated healer, which, you know, you don't really want to have a support Crusader, you prefer him being aggressive. I do bring the Glorious Standard on him, because that's something that happens every now and then with the Goliath comp, is that you have to put your Crusader in position 3 and just let him sit there for a little bit. So if you do have the Glorious Standard, you have a chance of actually making him quite useful. And you can see that we're just trading Death's Door checks right now, and eventually I'm gonna take out this Chester, believe it or not. So does he do enough damage? Once again, Death's Door he probably shouldn't, but maybe he does. He's gonna go for Dirk Stab there, does 5. Now we're just gonna go for the smart play. We're gonna go for the stun on the Arbalist, because we don't want to let her act. After that, just Hugh, Ola, and GG's, I believe. So click that stun, give me this value, easy death blow, and now the Arbalist should finish off the enemy Arbalist. I'm surprised Huntsman isn't surrendering yet, because the match is definitely over, but there he goes. Alright, and here we go on to match number 4 against Huntsman. So this is match point for myself, which means that I could just get the win very soon here, but it all depends on this match. I'm gonna have to say the matchup doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible either. And what do I want to go for first? It's definitely a big decision, but I'm gonna transform Slam this Crusader, because I don't want to let regen come through, and this is the easiest way of doing it. We push him to the back with minimum damage. Come on, game. But we do get to push him, we do get to hit, we do get to move, you know, neither of those are confirmed. But now she's in position 1. There might be a Shadow Fade here. There is actually a Shadow Fade here. I guess there is a flare value somewhere in this, but I'm not sure I want to go for that. I definitely have to focus the Occultist down first, like, no doubt in my mind, Occultist goes first. He has the Salt Machine heal, he has the Demon's Pull, he has the Artillery, like, Occultist, get out of here. Like, not even joking. It's gonna be a take cover, really? Well, I guess that means the Occultist goes to position 1, but now he's not even near as scary, and I can go for a stun on the Crusader. So we get the 80% hit chance, very crucial. Absolutely crucial that we actually get that hit chance, because that means they just can't act right now, which means -1 Zealous. -1 Zealous is great, and actually there's 2 stealths. I could clear them both. Do I want to? I mean, I might fail the stealth clear on the Grave Robber, which is the one that I really want to flare and clear that flare. That's the one I really want to clear the flare of. It's going to be Vulnerability X on my Bounty Hunter. I guess he's focusing down the BH, which is definitely the right play here. If he moved back, I would just gone Sniper Shot Death Blow, so yeah, that definitely wasn't a good play for him. I could go 11 to 19. If I take out this Crusader, am I winning? What's the hit chance on the flare? 83. Nope. I'm just gonna go for this. Oh, 13. Oh, Arbalist. That's not what you want to do. Come on, Arbalist. You can do better than that. I know you can do better than that. I know you better. Okay, I'm gonna transform. I mean, I'm already transformed. I'm gonna go for another slam. This time we roll for 10, which is a little bit higher. And we push the Crusader to position 3. Now, why? Oh, position 4. Why do we do this? Well, to prevent regen and make sure that he's in a spot where he doesn't want to be. Now, if you go Holy Lance, you put yourself in a position to get finished him, which obviously you don't want to let that happen, do you? It's a contest. What does he want to do? Does he want to move back now? He can't move back now. He's no longer marked. I mean, he will no longer be marked after he moves back, so he might do that. But no, he's just going to go Vulnerability X again. He does have the Carnival Mask, which means he's doing way more stress than what he normally would be, but not the end of the world for us. I'm going to go for a stun right now. We do hit at 85. I mean, just getting these hits is obviously very important here. WD is a team that has to deal with these chances. Either it hits or it misses. You can afford to miss a few, you can't afford to miss too many of them. And against the team that we have here, it's definitely focusing down my bounty hunter. I'm feeling the stress, I'm feeling the pressure from that stress, but it's, and then again, not the end of the world, not yet at least. I think I might just be going, I could actually just go finish him on this occultist and just do potentially some very decent damage. I could miss to finish him, especially after Flash Powder. And yes, minus 15 accuracy. I'm not going to go for the finish him anymore because I could 100% miss it. I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm just going to do this instead. We get a crit out of it too, which is nice. That means more damage versus marked. Could be helpful for the next 2 rounds. And the Crusader is now in the place where you don't want to be. He's probably going to heal the occultist. I think that's what he's going to go for, and if you do heal the occultist, my best play right now is definitely to either caltrips, start doing some consistent damage, or to go finish him. Finish him is a 68, I really can't go for that. So I'm going to drop a caltrips right now, get the bleed on Crusader, which is really good, because that puts him on a timer, makes sure that he has to keep spamming the rally to the flames, so great outcome for us. And now, no matter what you do, you're probably going to miss out on a lot. Unless you want to focus some other character than the Bounty Hunter. Because if you go Panic Darts right now, I mean, you just waste like 50 stress on that. So I don't think that would be that good of an idea. Do you get a crit out of that? No, you don't. You did not get a crit on my Crusader. So I have to say, I'm very happy about that. No crit on this Crusader. I'm going to stun that Antiquarian just to make sure she doesn't get her action. That's 10 damage. That's some very significant damage. And this is just what WD does, right? Crusader in the back, 2 front characters stunned, everyone's bleeding down to lower amounts of HP, not death blows, but, you know, they're definitely not feeling great. That's actually enough stress, jeez, that's set up on the Grave Robber. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, there's just no justice in this world, I suppose. Yeah, there's plus 30% stress dealt, but I go Virtuous right now, and yeah, getting a Virtue, oh my god, you know how good that is, don't you? You gotta know how good that is by now. I could actually de-transform, go for a stun on the Grave Robber, but I think that's pretty greedy. I'm just gonna go Rage right now, and the Antiquarian is gonna die. So is she gonna die immediately? No, there's gonna be a heal first, but after the heal, there's a Sniper Shot. After the Sniper Shot, there's likely a death blow, very likely. I mean, it's an 88% chance of hitting, I believe. Yeah, I think it's an 88. I could also just Sniper Shot the Crusader. No, who goes first next round, actually? I do, right? I go first. I could kill the Crusader, I could kill the Antiquarian. I mean, just keeping the Crusader in the back is just totally fine here. Just kill the Antiquarian, just take her out of the match. Like, come on. There's 2 stunned characters right now. Take her out of the match. Crusader in position 4 is fine. He's consistently goofing himself, just going for that rally to the flame, not being useful at all to the team. And we get to just miss a death blow here, or like fail death blow. Actually, what was the chance on that, right? She had 95% death blow resistance because that take cover. So I guess it was an 80 if getting the death blow right there. Well, since it was an 80, this one's a 95, so now we do get the death blow, so having to go for 2 finishes definitely loses some tempo, but not the end of the world. Not by any means. Well, you can definitely get an Affliction now, but I think it's too little too late for my opponent here. I'm gonna have to say that. We do have Stalwart, which gives us plus protection, gives us plus death blow resistance, and also gives us a chance to heal our stress for 10. It's probably the worst Virtue you can get, but then again, a Virtue is not an Affliction, so just like that, it's already a good thing. It's already a great thing, to say the very least. So I'm just gonna click here, I'm gonna go for another stun, and yeah, I heal myself for 10 stress. Honestly, Courageous would be a lot better, we actually get a miss on that. Focus would be a lot better, because that's also 10 accuracy and 8 crit. So yeah, I mean, just go Virtuous. Am I really complaining about being Virtuous? No, there's no way I'm complaining about being Virtuous, because right now if I was abusive I could have just stunned another character or something dumb like that, so I really cannot complain. I do not have to finish him, immediately at least, so I'm just gonna... I could go for a Rage, but stuns are the play. Stuns are the play. I have more actions than you do, so stuns are the best thing here. That has a missed chance. The Grave Robber is more useful, but taking the Occultist out now is also great, because once these characters are gone, Grave Robber can't do much if she's the last one alive, so keeping her for last is never a bad play. I wonder what you do with this Crusader. You actually go Holy Lance. That means my Crusader is probably gonna die soon, but that also means you are probably gonna die soon too, because now you're in position 3. In position 3, you are susceptible to finish him, so right now even if you go for a heal on the Occultist again, I just drop Sniper Shot and then you're dead to finish him. And after that it's going to be a 4v2 with stuns and with a bounty hunter here. He's actually gonna go for the heal on the grave robber, just to keep her alive for a little longer, I suppose. I suppose that's the play. Is my Crusader dead, actually? He might be dead to a Panic Darts. I don't think she does 50 stress. Does she? Oh, only with a crit, I believe. Yeah, I don't think she would do 50 stress without a crit. She has plus 30% stress dealt on those Panic Darts, so I'm guessing they do, like... Oh crap, no, she probably does enough. If she does enough damage, then she definitely does enough. They do like 40 stress, but no, she goes for the Bounty Hunter, which is definitely a good play here. It's definitely a good play, because if I go Fearful or something, I just don't get the death blow. I go Paranoid, which might be even worse. Yeah, I go Paranoid here, and if I do something dumb, I just don't get the death blow and I miss my chance. And sometimes you only get one shot. One shot, one opportunity. Do you take it or do you let it slip? In the words of our favorite Eminem. I might go for a stun here on the Occultist and then just stun on the Grave Robber. Just lock this match down. Just lock it down. Lock down the advantage here. So 75% hit chance. 80% chance of getting the stun. Take those, both of them. And now the Abomination just goes stun on the Grave Robber, 100% stun chance. And that's your actions for round 6 gone. I still have 4 actions, and, you know, just lock the match down with the World Domination team. It just works. It just works. And Huntsman surrenders. So it's going to be a best of 5 for Shepherd Doggy. 3-1. So I guess that was a reverse sweep, wasn't it? Well, it would have been a reverse sweep if it was 2-0 right at the start and then I got 3 points, but it was 1 and then 3. So yeah, GG to Huntsman, and I hope you all enjoy the matches, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.